Buffalo Medical Center, with the help of UNFPA, is inducting a pilot intervention to economically empower women in the Kiang East District in the villages of Jenyer, Kayav, Medina Sancha, Sare Samba, Munkutala, Njolfen, and Toranka Banta. The objective of the project is to empower women of childbearing age through increase in their income and to enhance their access to productive health knowledge, as a contributing factor towards the attainment of the Millennium Development Goal targets of drastic reduction of maternal mortality rate by the year 2015. With that motive, Buffalo Medical Center induct an information and empowering center in Medina Sancha village, well equipped with furniture and television, purposely for sensitization and group discussions among women pertaining to their sexual and reproductive health. Ali Usar, representative of the UNFPA officer in charge, outlined that the project launched today is an initiative of UNFPA implemented by Buffalo with the support of the Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. The main objective of the project is to reduce maternal mortality rate by minimizing delay in accessing reproductive health services. He further dilated that if women are economically empowered and with ample knowledge on sexual and reproductive health, it will enable them improve the health standards of their families. Sexual and reproductive health being a major concern in the country's health delivery system, Buffalo Medical Center is in the meantime looking forward to opening other information centers in other villages of Kiang East District. For GRTS News, I am Abdullah Baji.
A missing cab and a body crushed to pulp beyond recognition is a premeditated case of murder and robbery, keeping homicide investigators at Buning Police busy. Detectives are trying to advance a probe into the death of taxi driver Abdurrahman Jallo. Ibrahim Ajat has details of that story in this report.
Police homicide investigators are probing what is by all measures a very unusual and horribly cruel murder. Now, Alaji Toure is the suspect currently helping ongoing investigations surrounding the death of Abdurrahman Jallo, who was killed on the 13th of February 2013. Now, apart from leading investigators to the side of this oil well, where he reportedly dumped the body, Toure also gave police a shocking rundown of how he overcome and killed his victim. It all began 2 weeks ago on the fateful evening of February the 13th at the Car Junction in Latrikunda. Investigators say this is the exact point where the unsuspecting Abdurrahman Jallo was hired by the man who consequently used a hammer to beat the life out of him. And Abdurrahman doesn't even own the taxi cab. Police say it was subcontracted to him by the owner, who wanted a day off to relax. After picking up 26-year-old Alaji Toure at the Car Junction, the two took off towards Kunkujang, the suspect's misleading destination. Police PRO David Colley.
He was told that he would like to go to Kunkujang, Ketaya. But when they arrived there, the suspect told him that he would like to go to Kerawan instead. Now, on their way to Kerawan, somewhere around Mandinari, in a very lonely area, he asked the driver to stop the car. Then he was seated at the back seat. With still the engine running, he brought out hammer and started battering the deceased on the head. With the very first hit, he lost consciousness. Then he moved away from the back seat and went to the passenger seat, and then continued battering him on the head. That's why you will see blood stains and even some of the brain tissues splattered inside the car. And he had made several efforts in trying to clean this up, but he has not been able to do that completely.
The reporting of a vehicle theft, possibly stolen by the missing driver, instigated probes which saw homicide investigators scoring every probable lead inside of the car and lost cab driver.
He tried to dispose of the body, but then the victim was already dead. He tried to dispose of the body. Now, on his way, trying to search for an ideal place, he unfortunately got stuck somewhere. And so he needed the services of body, because by then he had removed the driver from the driver's seat and dumped it on the back seat. Now, when he realized that he was stuck and needed help in order to continue, he removed the body and then put it into the boat.
The boat,
this
okay.
was where it was hit. That's why you also have stains inside the boat.
Traces of blood sprayed all over the taxi cab indicate what could only have been a mercilessly brutal attack by the passenger who was in the back seat. Administering a heavy blow which neutralized and knocked out the driver, investigators revealed that the victim was dragged out of the car and repeatedly beaten with a hammer, which police were able to retrieve from the suspect's compound during his arrest.
From there, because he was a citizen of Kunkuja, Kerewan, he knew an ideal place, which was at an Arabic school. There was an old abandoned well. This was where he went and dumped the remains of the deceased.
Now, tell me, here they were all alone and the suspect was close to home. You don't know of any other accomplice except this guy?
No, we are not aware of any accomplice. As a matter of fact, the person who had helped him push the car, the accused himself doesn't know, the suspect doesn't even know him.
When we visited the alleged scene of crime, investigators made another surprising discovery, this time of encrusted blood covered with sand and what clearly seemed like pieces of broken skull, and even traces of dried human tissue, graphic signs of a vicious murder with all intent to kill.
Lamarana, who subcontracted the vehicle to the deceased, when he waited several hours and the deceased did not come back home with the vehicle, he called him. And the deceased informed him that I am somewhere around Lamen NTC. I've been hired to take somebody to Kerawan. That was the last time he was able to reach him. Later, all efforts to reach him proved futile.
It's easy to see why the assailant chose this spot in Mandinari to carry out his scheme. It's absolutely isolated, with only a few scattered compounds, and one could scream your life out here and wouldn't be hurt, especially in the quiet of the night. Police say the suspect was able to finish his business without interruption, later putting the body inside the vehicle's boot before driving to the site of an old isolated well where he discarded his dead and flattened victim.
This is the exact spot where the remains of the deceased were finally removed after 2 weeks of disappearance. Ture eventually brought us to this isolated area and claimed that this was where he disposed of the remains of the deceased. You will notice that there are still stains of the blood.
But a reported vehicle theft quickly got homicide investigators busy, and one thing led to another, guiding the way to the arrest of a suspect who told police all he wanted was to own a car. But a malicious misdeed might greatly intimidate taxi drivers who wanted some quick justice after the suspect was taken in for questioning. Police had to move the suspect from Bundung to the Kanifing police post to guarantee his safety. Meanwhile, prosecutors are busy drawing up accusations against Alaji Ture, who is now been charged with premeditated murder, contrary to Section 187 of the Criminal Code. Ibrahim Jata, GRTS.
Well, we're going to take a very short break now. The news continues in just a moment.
Lucozade Energy, energizing Gambia.
Welcome back to GRTS News. President Idris Deby of Chad has called on other West African countries to send more boats to northern Mali as French and some 2,000 Chadian troops battle it out with Islamist and Tuareg fighters. ECOWAS Chairman Alassane Ouattara has pledged 8,000 troops, but as we hear in the CFI report, the mission could cost more than $900 million, twice the original estimate.
Members of the African-led support mission in Mali are meeting in Yamoussoukro. On Thursday, soon after discussions began, Chad began to show impatience. President Deby called on Mali and other West African countries to send reinforcements to support French and Chadian troops already on the ground. Although Chad is not a member of ECOWAS, it has contributed the largest contingent of soldiers, 2,000 in all, to the mission to retake northern Mali, and it has lost 27 of those soldiers in combat.
This is not the time for talk, nor for discussion on procedures, but a time to take action. Although it may be necessary to consult on a course of action, the enemy will not wait.
The president of ECOWAS, Alassane Ouattara, has promised the deployment of 8,000 men. But to do this,